Parenting Junkie.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Parenting Junkie, the place to go to love parenting and for parenting from love. If you think other parents could benefit from this type of content, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Today I wanted to share just a kind of stream of thought that I've been having recently. And you know, I think there's often cases in life where a micro situation, the way that we experience and handle a specific scenario, reflects broadly on how we handle our life in general, and our approach to life and our values and our worldview. So today I want to ask you how you wash dishes. I know it's a strange question, but bear with me for one moment. Washing dishes is pretty universal. Most of us have to do it at some point or other throughout the day. Most of us need to get it done. And how we approach washing dishes can inform us a ton on how we approach our life. You know, we typically don't think of washing dishes as a great pastime. We think of it as a waste of time. We think of it as a chore, and by chore I mean something negative that we have to do begrudgingly. We think of it as work. We think of it as something that happens to us, like, oh no, the sink is piled with dishes again, and it's a burden on us. We think of washing dishes as the drudgery of daily life that there's no escaping and we have to get through. We also think of it as a class issue, right? If you have more resources, perhaps someone else washes your dishes for you, or perhaps you have a high-end dishwasher that you use. So there are various ways of understanding this washing dishes phenomenon. But what I wanted to share with you is that we could approach washing dishes very differently, right? We could see it as a blessing, as an opportunity to stop and think. We could think of how grateful we are to have the dishes. We could think of the millennia of history, of craftsmanship, of all the different people and disciplines and development that it took to make dishes the way they are made today. We could really appreciate the quality or the form or the design or the aesthetics of the dishes that we're washing. We could think of how amazing it is that we have these dishes, and think of the plethora of choice that we had when it came to choosing these dishes. How many amazing dishes were available to us and that we could afford them. And how many people throughout the world today and throughout history don't have any dishes. We could think about the running water and how grateful we are to have running water that's clean enough to wash dishes with, not to mention drink. We could think about the soap and the amazing chemical and scientific advancements that have happened in the world that have created this organic dish soap. Or the amazing technology of the dishwasher and how it's freed up time for us or done a more effective job. And how lucky we are to have one of those things, if we have one. We could think about our deep gratitude that we have dishes to wash because we had food to eat. And our children and ourselves ate that food and enjoyed it on these dishes. Just take a moment to reflect on the magnitude of that we have to wash dishes 2, 3, 4 times a day means that we have meals 2, 3, 4 times a day. We could enjoy the sensory experience of the water on our fingers. We could enjoy the visual experience of the splashes and the glistening. We could sit in awe and gratitude that our hands work, that we have 2 hands and that they can wash dishes, that we can do it for ourselves and that we have that level of agility and independence. We can think of how grateful we are to have the time to wash dishes, that we can care for our home, for our little sacred temple where we live and eat, and how simply wonderful it is that we're able to look after this sanctuary. We could be putting on music and dancing as we wash dishes, or simply washing the dishes with mindfulness. We could be washing the dishes with our toddler standing at our side and enjoying the suds and splashing each other's noses. Washing the dishes can be a great joy and a great privilege if we so choose it. Now, this kind of choice that we have really is true of everything in life. We can choose this gratefulness with changing a diaper, with getting up in the middle of the night to feed our children, with our workplace, with our other relationships, really with anything that we have to do. So my question for you today is, how do you approach washing dishes? Do we have to always think this way when we wash the dishes? No. And is it absolutely legitimate to hire someone else to do it? To use the dishwasher, or to decide we're not doing it today and we're letting the sink pile up? Yes, absolutely. The point that I'm trying to make here is only this, that everything that we do can be experienced on the sensory, spiritual, emotional level that brings us great joy, gratitude, or at the very least, presence and neutrality. It doesn't have to be a burden or a chore unless we allow it to be. We can't suffer from washing the dishes unless we give our consent to suffer, unless we decide to think of it as something to suffer for. And this is the same for raising your children. You can think about how difficult it is and about how hard you have it. You can think about how challenging they are, or how imperfect it is, or of all the stresses that you have in your life. Or you can sometimes, for just a moment, shift it around and see that there's a completely other narrative just waiting to be explored and felt by you. There is no wrong in thinking about the hardships, and there is no wrong in thinking that these things are a chore or a burden. It's not wrong, but it leads to greater suffering, and I know which approach I would prefer. If you think this video might help other parents, please give it a thumbs up. Press subscribe here on YouTube. If you're looking for a supportive community of like-minded parents, I warmly invite you to join our Love Parenting with Avital Facebook group. Plus, head on over to theparentingjunkie.com and sign up for email updates so I can gift you my free PDF guide, 10 easy steps to transform your home into a play-inducing haven. Keep on loving parenting and parenting from love, because your kids need you almost as much as you need them. Bye. The Parenting Junkie.